Hi, I'm Jerry Gibbs, and today I'd like to introduce you to these two new LGR refrigerant dehumidifier units from Ecor Pro. This is the EPD170LGR, and it's a great product. This is a refrigerant dehumidifier, so it's very different from the other machines that we've looked at. They were desiccant dehumidifiers, they're absorption. And this is a refrigerant dehumidifier, so this is a condenser dehumidifier. How this works is it's going to take humid air and it's going to cool it down until it falls below dew point. And at that time, the moisture that's in the air is going to condense on those colder surfaces, and we're going to get dry air coming through it. Most of us have seen this before because most of us have looked at cold materials like a milk bottle from the fridge, like a wine glass, with water vapor and condensation gathering on it. The inside of this machine is basically like the cold lager glass. It's cooled the air down until the air can no longer carry the moisture at that temperature, and that is the dew point temperature. So all of the humidity that was in that air is then deposited on this cold surface, and dry air carries on going through. The water that's hit those cold surfaces, in here it's a cold coil, is then deposited into a container where it can be pumped away. And that's the principle of a refrigerant dehumidifier. A very simple operation. Refrigerant dehumidifiers are basically the same principle as a fridge. They've been around for more than 100 years. They're robust and they're reliable. And this is a good, tough, robust machine. It's very neat. It's got a handle so it can be wheeled around, so it's easy to transport. It weighs about 31 kilos, but with wheels and a handle, that's not really that much of a problem. And it's also very easy to lift and easy to transport around. It's stackable, so that's a plus point too. It's very neat, it's very streamlined, and it's quite small and compact with nothing sticking out of the side. So from a restoration user's perspective, we're unlikely to bash this on door frames. It's a major problem for the restoration industry on a whole. So this is good. It's plastic, it's rotor-molded, it keeps its colour, it's wiped clean. It ticks all the boxes for restoration. And it's simple to operate. We set it up into the room, we plug it in, we turn it on, and we can largely leave it to do its own thing. Let's look at some of the specification that we've got on this, because it's really quite cool. It's moving about 475 cubic meters of air per hour. So it's a really powerful machine. It consumes about 500 watts of electricity. So it's not using a lot of electricity for the amount of air that it can shift, the amount of water that it can take out of the air. So it's taking air, the air that we want to dry, it's taking it through the back of the machine, and it takes it through a filter. Now this is a lint filter, or fluff filter. This is going to catch fluff and airborne particulates that would normally contaminate that machine. And this filter is very easy to change, very easy to clean, very easy to maintain. These machines are not really designed to work in harsh environments and dusty environments. No refrigerant dehumidifier is. But unfortunately, in the restoration industry, people subject them to that type of condition. So with that knowledge, this machine has been designed to protect itself. And if necessary, it can be fitted with a HEPA filter. And now the machine can protect itself. There is a compromise that does restrict a little bit of airflow, but it maintains the functionality of the machine that would otherwise be ruined. The controls are really quite simple on this machine. We simply plug it in and turn it on. It has a compressor delay, like all refrigerant dehumidifiers do, and it counts down, and when it's happy, the machine will start, and then it's going to start issuing its air from the side. If this were standing in a room or behind an enclosure, it's going to work with a recirculation. So it's going to take the air, cool the air down, drop the water out of it, and then issue air back out, which is going to be dry. If we wanted to work this separate from the drying environment, or if the drying environment is small, we've made a tented enclosure, it's really straightforward. We can put a duct adapter onto the air vent, put a duct in on here, and then duct that dry air into the tent. So now we have a focused drying regime. And that's going to increase the efficiency of this machine because if left in the middle of the room, it has to dry quite a large airspace first. And that's a waste of energy. And whilst that was an acceptable practice years ago, in our energy conscious world that we live in now, that's not acceptable. So all dehumidifiers really should work with a ducting and a focused drying regime. The dehumidifier condenses water vapor from the air into a liquid. And that liquid has got to be purged away. So that's quite straightforward too. We fit a pipe to the outlet, and then that pipe is unwrapped and dropped into a sink or a toilet bowl, or poked out through a letterbox, or discharged somewhere else. And that's the water that's actually in the wet materials. It's going to come into the air, the machine is going to take it out, and then it's going to be purged out of the building via that pipe. It's really as simple as that.